Welcome back. We had to take Jordan to HR because of the meat train and him offering people to get on it. We
come on aboard, baby.
We want you to know that he apologizes for his sentiments. Jordan, I'm trying to help you. Jordan, I'm trying to. We can see you, Jordan.
Sorry. I apologize, everybody.
I also want to apologize for the doors and windows being unlocked. Don't leave the back door open. You know what I mean? Or do whatever you're into. You know, it's your
type
world.
Of questionable stuff.
It's your world. There's been a lot of wild takes on this morning's episode, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Nova said, "I pray Joel's not here because God knows he'll make a beat for it." Get on the meat train.
Hey, man.
That's a wild song. Hey, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Let's jump into this.
Let's do it.
Because I think that this is interesting because you have to add context to it. Outside looking in, it feels like, and especially with just the numbers and stuff like that, if there's any weakness of the Chicago Bears defense, I think that you can say it is the run stopping numbers right now. Yeah. It feels like this Bears team has struggled to stop the run on a fairly consistent basis, and you've been hoping that would be something that would improve. When you look at the running backs that have gotten off on the Bears this season, Jonathan Taylor racked up 100 yards rushing. Tony Pollard had 16 carries for 82 yards, 1 touchdown. Kyron Williams had 19 rushes for 94 yards, 1 touchdown. Chuba Hubbard had 13 carries for 97 yards, 1 touchdown. And the guys that you still have coming up on this schedule, Brian Robinson Jr., you've got James Conner, you've got Josh Jacobs, you've got Aaron Jones, you've got David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kenneth Walker III. I mean, there's still some really good running backs on this roster. And the question that you have in my mind is, do the Bears need to go out and add a run stuffer to this defense?
I'm gonna be honest with you. With that's the one surprising stat that I've been kind of shocked at this entire season, with the fact that we've created so much pressure with Big Bill going up the middle, with Javon Dexter taking a step forward and becoming a special player this year, even DeMarcus Walker being more of a good run stopper, a stopgap. When you look at the numbers that the running backs have put up against us, as you just mentioned, it is a little shocking, and I don't know if it's just a matter of there's certain holes that are being opened up, and they're just not fulfilling those assignments to stop those certain holes from opening up. That's the only deficiency. So should we go out and get somebody? I'm gonna say no, because I feel like maybe that's just an attention to detail. I think those are things that like over this bye week. Though that should have been one of the discussions is, hey, where's our weakness at on this defense? Because there's not a whole lot of it. But the one is the run game. And I believe we're in the lower part of the league when it comes to that average, giving up over 100 at the very least in yardage per game. So I think if they give that more attention and just kind of clean up where their assignments, making sure they fill all their gaps, yeah. I think that we can stand pat, because usually Andrew Billings, that's what he was known for.
Yeah,
that's what we came into the season being confident with him in particular, is his ability to kind of just clog that middle up, on top of the fact that he's doing more than we expected. And so I think that we have the pieces here already. You like what you saw from Chris Williams in the previous game. So I think we do have the pieces already in place. They just kind of need to fine tune some things. So no, I wouldn't go out and grab anybody for the interior.
Here's what's tough for me, and I think you got to add context. And I'm not in a different spot than you are right now, JC. I think you have to add context to every one of these big games, right? Chuba Hubbard had 1 massive carry. Started the game off, what was it, a 38-yard run?
Yeah.
Nah, you still gave up 60 yards after that, right? But 38-yard run. Gets to the house, touchdown. Chuba Hubbard was basically useless the rest of the day. Yes, he did rack up 60 yards. Yes, he did get some third downs in there. But when it came to getting in the red zone, there was nowhere to go. He didn't get in the red zone that much, and the Bears dominate that game. Tony Pollard, 1 big run in the first half.
Yep.
Had some nice chunk plays in the first half. In the second half of that game, Tony Pollard was non-existent. The Bears defense shut down the run in the second half of that game completely, right? Kyren Williams is the one back that carved you up all day.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Kyren Williams carved you up all day. I'm not gonna lie. When I was sitting, I was like, that boy was running through this line. And I guess the question is, right, are you gonna face more Kyren Williams this season? And when you go up against your divisional teams, right? David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are two guys I'm worried about. Aaron Jones with that offensive line, I got a little bit of concern, right? But you still have to. I think Coach T just said it best. They have an occasional glitch now versus some of these teams that will screw you over because these glitches are ending in touchdowns, right? The glitch for against Tony Pollard ends in a touchdown. You had the one that they didn't put on this list was why can't I think of the Colts running back now?
Oh my goodness. Jonathan Taylor.
You had Jonathan Taylor on there who kind of gashed you as the defense kept ending up back on the field because they're gassed and the offense can't get anything going in the slightest, right? Like, so I think there's some caveat to a lot of this, but versus better teams, those glitches can kill you. But I think it's like you said, it feels more of a. It feels like more of a what's the right word?
Like outlier than
yeah, it feels more of a fluke than not versus most teams. Now, if fluke is the wrong word, I guess outlier is a better word, right? Because a fluke means like they don't have the talent to do it. I think they have the talent to do it, but it just feels like this is a Bears defense that almost has to be slapped in the face. And then they snap two, and then all of a sudden you look at the rest of the game, you're like, well, you're not running the football anymore. But again, this is versus bad football teams, right? What we saw out of Chuba Hubbard is on a bad football team. You're not going to have that same leeway versus the Vikings, versus the Lions, versus the Packers. Those are teams that have offensive lines that can move you off your spot. Now, Bears have had a dominant defensive line as far as the pass rush. They're number one in EPA per play in dropbacks. They're 19th in EPA per play in rundowns, right? So you want to kind of close that gap there. But I think the numbers don't tell you the full story of what's going on. And so I'm not clamoring for the Bears to add an interior lineman. I think that maybe it does help. The Chris Williams of the world and guys like that, I'm just like, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a nice guy to have. I would like to see that position upgraded, but I think it's something you can wait on. There's not an interior lineman you're going to add to this team that's going to take you the extra mile. I don't want to see Ryan Poles slinging second-round picks out here for an interior offensive lineman. Defensive lineman, I should, if there's an offensive lineman out there, maybe. An interior defensive lineman. Just so that you can improve your game on the rundowns. I think that this Bears team is not that far off on being a good run-stopping team. And I would love to see it especially in the red zone and especially in those moments. I haven't looked at the numbers on that. But in those moments where you need them to stop the run most, I feel like the Bears usually do.
Yeah. Before I get my take, by the way, can you actually see me? Because I feel like we're frozen in time.
I'm not going to lie. Your screen is frozen right now. I thought you were standing incredibly still.
All right.
Dare I say, I thought you went to sleep.
No.
I thought you went to sleep, dog.
That flute concert got to me. No, not at all. Well, hey, I'm just gonna go off sound then because I clearly we're both frozen on my screen. But what I wanted to say is the fact that I think it's twofold when it comes to how the going forward, how this the run is going to affect us. I think it's hand in hand with the offensive lines that we're also going to be facing. Because when you're talking about some of these offensive lines that we're going up against, they're some of the best in the league. Even though San Francisco is deficient right now with Christian McCaffrey and a lot of guys are hurt, a lot of their special players. I mean, that offensive line is still special. And that's the reason why Jordan Mason, can kind of just plug and play and get in there and do what he's been doing. And so that could be an issue. And then, of course, when we're going up against Detroit twice, even though I mentioned we have their number, and I think that we can win against them, I feel like Detroit's offensive line is the best in the league. And so when you have two guys, one who already has, an affinity for us because he's ready to kill us at any moment. And David Montgomery being a former Bear, and then Jahmyr Gibbs with the talent that he has, kind of let that two-way tandem is special, I think. And so we might have some problems with that. So I think, yeah, the part where we have to really look for improvement is that run game immediately, because we're going to be tested week in and week out. You got Aaron Jones on the and Ty Chandler on the Vikings. You got what is it, Kenneth Walker on the Seahawks. Like and you mentioned James Conner. Like these are all really good mid to top tier running backs that we haven't faced yet. And so it's going to be a daunting task at times, like I said, for the defense to stop it. But again, like I said before, that doesn't make me think that we need to go out and get somebody and give up, some sort of high draft capital, like you mentioned, a second round pick. No, unless somebody is actually there, then okay, I'm fine with it, like a special name, but I don't foresee that happening. I think that time is going and went. I know a lot of names that we're talking about is the edge rush help, not the interior. So I would just stand pat, like I said, and just try to, work on the fine tuning.
Yeah, no, I agree. Go ahead and hit that refresh button, JC.
Okay.
Just go ahead and refresh it real quick. You couldn't even see all the comments of Muggs going in. Oh, wait for the playback. We'll get JC back in here in a second, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. No, I agree. Listen, I think the interior of this offensive line is I'm sorry if this defensive line, the interior of this offensive line is scary. I think the interior of this defensive line, you're not going to be great at everything. Some things you will have to be just good at. And I think that in those moments when the Bears need to most, they can be good. I think that in those moments when the Bears need to run stuff most, they can be good. Does that mean that they're great? Does that mean that they're going to be one of the best run stopping teams in the NFL? Does that mean they're going to be one of the best teams against the run? No, it doesn't. And that is okay, because you are the best team right now in the NFL against the pass. Teams are not passing the football on you. Teams don't even look Jalen Johnson's way. Over the last 3 weeks, I believe he's been targeted 6 times. He's allowed 3 receptions for -4 yards. So you're in a position right now where you have control. You're in a position right now where you can eliminate an entire part of their game. And yeah, you want to run the football. You want to try and chunk your way down the field with the run game. 100%, sure, go ahead. Because when you get to the red zone, you won't be able to do it, because the Bears are also one of the best teams in the NFL in the red zone. And so, to me, this is an opportunity for you to lean on what you already have. That is an elite situation. That is a dominant defense, and not panic and move off of the full game plan. And that's what I expect Ryan Poles to do. I think that the Bears end up standing pat on what they already have. I think that this ends up where the Bears don't panic. Don't go out and add. And there's some solid names interior that you could add. I guess if it costs you nothing to add them, that's a different situation, right? If you're talking about 4th round draft capital, stuff like that. But right now, I don't think that I feel the Bears are going to be challenged enough in the past this season for them to have to sell out or go get some big name on the interior of that defensive line. I don't know if JC can get back in here or not, or if the internet died on him, which would be absolutely hilarious. I told him to refresh and he's not able to make it back in. I was trying to wait on him to finish out the show here. But no, I think the biggest thing for this Bears team right now is just to stay focused on what they have. I think that as this season is coming now past the bye week, you're getting into the teeth of this schedule. You're going to learn a lot about this team. You're going to learn a lot about where this team is as far as defensively. You're going to learn a lot about where Caleb Williams is as far as a quarterback. The matchups are not getting easier. You're in the toughest position that you've been in all season now, right? You've got your first 5-2 matchup, which may get a little bit easier with Jaden Daniels. They got him listed as week to week. I still say he plays this game, but they have him listed as week to week. JC, they literally just got the text. Laptop just said, screw you, had to restart. I'm going to try to jump back in. JC, they censoring JC for the meat take. See, they said he's got too much meat in the conversation on this mug, man. But no, I think that you're going to learn a lot about where this Bears team is at over the next couple of weeks. And I think a lot of people are going to feel a lot more confident in who you have offensively, on what this quarterback can become, on where this offense can go, because I think that the Bears are going to do a good amount of winning to finish out the season. I mean, I had them, they're 5-2 right now. What I say they were going to get 1, 2, 3. I think we lose. Dang, I got us. Oh no, 4. I got us winning that one. 5, 6, 7. I've got the Bears with 7 more wins to finish the season out. As Mr. Media is back. Welcome back.
All right.
You all right? Did the camera change? Did it finally allow your laptop camera to work?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what's going on. Apparently,
I think it's finally letting your laptop camera work.
Goodness gracious, everything's just going all over the place. It's haywire. But I'm back, guys. Goodness.
Your mic is on the wrong input.
Oh, well,
JC refreshed into 1972. Carl said he bought his laptop at the pawn shop. Hey, don't be sleeping on the pawn shop, bro.
Hey, come on now.
The pawn shop is phenomenal. We're not going to sleep on the pawn shop. I love the pawn shop. By the way, JC, over 300 in the chat. Oh, wrong button. Hold on. Give it a second. Over 300 in the chat. 300.
Still can do that.
Oh, man. I mean, you working all hard for this month, man. We finna get up out of here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For the struggling Mr. Media over here himself, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down, one love. See Red Nation, stand up. Basketball is back, baby. NBA on the rise. Foul. Peace. You little. Your struggles threw me off. I didn't have the Jesus Christ. It's a wild show this morning.
The best show in Chicago sports.
So the meat train, that's what you went with today? That's what
you're all right. People all aboard, baby.
We're gonna have to talk about that.
Hey man. All aboard.
We have to get the clicker out. Come here.
Hey, come here.
Let me show you this. What you doing right there? Why are your pants off?